also okay, so let me bring up the contents over here. So we talked about fundamental types, pointers, references, arrays, classes, scope and information. We talk about those things. Inheritance, inclusion, polymorphism, class templates, compositions, aggregations, and associations is going to be next week, right? So we are standing right here at class templates, and we went through it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a week, so I'm not going to talk about class templates today, but we're going to do rule of 5 today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a lab out right now, okay? And the lab's going to be on the same site that I have the notes in. You just load the lab and start doing it on your computers, okay? And you try to finish it around like 50 minutes or something. It's a very simple lab. The good thing is that when you're doing it, if you have any problem, it can come to you and help you right over there, okay? So you can have practice on the things that we are doing. This only happens if I don't have anything to cover from the lecture, because usually, like this is almost, I can say, the first time that is happening in 345 for me that I have a lab time. Because usually the teaching takes too long and it leaks the next day, but we covered everything that we wanted. We went through templates, explanation how everything works, so we are good for it. Good? Are we okay? Okay. So give me 2 seconds to polish, because I came with the idea, like I wanted to teach go forward, but I think it's better not to do that. I wanted to start teaching from things for next week, but it's better not to advance forward and slowly go and learn, okay? So while I was sitting over there between 2 classes, I designed the lab, okay? Give me 2 seconds to set it up and put it up, okay? I'm going to pause the recording. And please remind me to resume recording. You can start your computers and have Visual Studio ready to do your coding. And please don't use the AI for it. That's just, yeah, you know what I mean, right? I want you to learn. So don't use the Copilot to write the code for you. And remember, if you're not in a mood of answering stuff, just say pass and we'll go to the next one, okay? You don't have to answer any questions. If you participate, I'll appreciate. If you don't, then you chose not to. Doesn't matter. Okay, so going back to what we talked about in OOP345, steps for dynamic memory allocation. What are the things that we need to take care of when we are doing dynamic memory allocation? Things that you have to look for to make sure your dynamic memory allocation is good. Give me one of them. Go ahead, one of them. Give me one of them. One thing that you have to look for when you are doing dynamic memory allocation. With what? Initialize the so first of all, dynamic memory allocation happens in a pointer, correct? Okay. That pointer should be always? It should always be kept? Nope. If you're in doubt, you can say pass, or if you don't understand. But, okay, we have a pointer. That pointer in dynamic memory allocation should always be kept as, if we are not using it, it should be? No. So that's what we're going to do this. Paul?
Null pointer?
Null pointer, correct? You're Paul? Hey, hello, Paul. How are you? Okay, good. Like this, I can actually learn student names too. So it should always be kept as null, right? Now, Muhammad is here? There we go. That's a better thing to do. Okay, so, and it's completely random. Each time it comes up with something, so you don't know who's going to be next. So it should always be kept null, right? So when we are doing dynamic memory allocation, the memory, the very first thing that we need to know about the memory is allocating is its, okay, when you are allocating memory, okay, what do you need to know first to be able to allocate the memory? Don't say anything. Don't say anything. We're going to go to the next person. Okay. Yeah. It's how long? Yeah. Size. The size of the memory. That's the very first thing that we need to know. So we do the size of the memory, and after doing size of the memory, we allocate the memory, and we have the memory to work with, right? After the memory is working and it's done, then what happens? We need to take care of the memory, right? And how do we take care of the memory to make sure there is no leak? Carlos? Not here? Okay. All right. It went absent. David? We should, no. You went one step quick. Stay, don't say anything. So he said we should reset it back to null PTR, but that's not the case. Who's Gurprit? Gurprit? Not here? Okay. If you're here, say something so I know that you saw your name, right? So we go to the next person. Oh. So why you were answering the other time? It wasn't you? Who was Sue? S-U. Are you serious? So now you are answering. And I'm thinking her name is Sue. Why you're answering then? It's amazing. So Iris, Sue. Okay. So Sue, you were saying, go ahead. So he said that to take care of it, we have to reset it to null. But that's the last step. Before that, what do we do? What do we need to do with the allocated memory? So you allocated the memory. You used new to allocate the memory, and you're done with it now. You don't want to have memory leak. What do? Delete it. Thank you very much. You delete the memory, right? Fantastic. So we know that. We delete the memory. I need a remote control for this. Okay? No? Not here? Not here? Trajan here? This is good. Now I know who's not here. Mustafa? Not here? Holy moly.
You have a small class.
Claire? See? Said or Said? Is it our class? Derek. Ah, hallelujah. Okay, we have deleted it. But how do we delete it? Yeah, we use the delete keyword, but delete keyword has something after that we should use or we should not use, depending on how we allocate it. Either we use square bracket or we don't. We don't if it was a single object allocated. We do if it's squared ones. We good down to this point? And after that, we set it back to null. Are we good? Hello. After we set it back to null. Are we good down to this point? Okay, so that was dynamic memory allocation. You got to do that today. So with that lab thingy, Actually, I wrote the function for you to do it, but you need to remember that. Okay? So that's that. Now, Tyron. Rule of 5. First one. What is it? Copy construction. Number 1. Danielle. Danielle? Harris. Copy assignment. Wesley. Move assignment. Thank you very much. Ed. It was here. Where is it? Oh, there we go. There we go. Destructor. Thank you very much. So it's 4, last one. Adibawi? Abdi Wali. No? So we did copy constructor, copy assignment, destructor, move assignment, move constructor, move constructor. So these are the 5 things you need to apply. Are we okay down to this point? All right. Next. This is OOP345. When you are actually, hello, Matt. Okay. When you're actually creating a class and you want to have a helper operator operated or created for the class, is it proper to make it a friend to access the class?
Typically, no.
Thank you. It's not typically no. The answer is never. Fardat Surimanlu. Next one, I'm going to answer. No, I'm not going to answer. Pravin? Pravin is here? Pravin? No? Makin? Oh, there we go. So we are not supposed to use a friend, okay, if we want to access. So what do we need to implement so the helper operator and functions don't need a friend? Do you remember that? Very vague question. Even I can't answer that. You're going to pass. Michael, what do you think? So when I create a helper function, I need to access the guts of the class, but they are private. So what do I do so those private stuff become accessible to a helper? Insertion operator gets it from the keyword, from console. I'm talking about accessing private members of a class so it can be accessed properly by, you're on the track, by any helper operator. Scope. No, I'll go to the next person. Amir Ali. Pass, okay. Rurid, is that correct? Ruarid? Not here? We don't have? No? Zhao? Or no, we cannot make it a member because it's a helper. But you are almost right. We create a or an. We create an. It starts with a vowel. Tom. A getter. Thank you. An accessor. A getter, not a, yeah, getter or setter. An accessor to be able to access the private properties safely. Very good? All right? Fantastic. Okay, good. So now that we've done over here, that was amazing. Right to the end, and we went through that whole thing, and the attendance is actually safe too. So I think it's working. All right, good. That was interesting, exactly to the end, perfectly in sync. Now, I'm going to show you what the thing is, what the lab is. We don't need to do this anymore. Now we go back to the microphone. Okay. All right, and by the way, when you look at your attendance, it started from 100%. So if you look at your marks, your attendance is 10 out of 10 now for everyone. Every time an absent goes, it decreases by 1. Okay? So it keeps going back, going to downwards. I started everybody from 100%, and if you're absent, you lose a mark. Okay? We good? All right. All right. Need this? All right. Fantastic. So let's go to you can open up the notes and then open up notes again, and you will see today's session. There is a Lab MD. That Lab MD, there you go. Lab MD, rule of 5, stream insertion, approximately 50 minutes. Okay? So what you're doing, you're managing a dynamic C safely in a class. You implement rule of 5, provide safe copy moving behavior, make the class insertable into OStream via the insertion operator. Then, up to not get you involved with dynamic memory allocation, assuming that's a 244 concept, and you all mastered it perfectly, I'm giving you the function for that. So this function is the good old allo copy that you have, but I'm not using any string header file in it. I'm just doing so this essentially is as strlen, that while loop, and this for loop is str copy. Okay? So I'm doing that for it. So that's that. So the modules you are creating is name.h, name.cpp, and main.cpp. Your attribute is mValue, and that's it. That's all you need to know. Create a constructor for it. You create a constructor that accepts the name. That's all. To create it, then you display it using, this is the accessor that we talked about, the display. Then you insert it into OStream. These are, down to here, it's all OOP345. Then OOP345 over here. You should be able to, just to give you a heads up on what your level's supposed to be, you should be able to finish this in 40 minutes, 35 minutes if you're an average student. If it's taking more than that, it means you have to study. Okay? I'm not saying that it's doomsday. I'm just telling you that that's the thing. So start. If you need any help, you let me know. Create a project. In your project, add the modules. Start working on it. If you have any question, let me know. Meanwhile, I'm going to set up the submitter so you can actually submit it to me. Okay? If you have any question, call me, please. You can collaborate with each other. You can talk. You can ask questions from each other. There's no problem. But don't fool yourself by using, what should we call it? ChatGPT. It's just you're shooting yourself in the foot. Don't do that.